This is Dr. Young. I'm going to go over your week 1 assignments. I'll post a video each week for you going over what you need to do and a little bit more clarification. So, let's see. Let me go over week 1, and this is basically for this class, the overview. We'll be talking about compensation and benefits, and that's a pretty broad field. There's a lot of information in that, believe it or not, and we'll be talking about benefits, pay, issues, and also we're going to talk about laws that affect financial rewards. So, you know, in this day and age, there's many ways to reward employees. There's kind of out of the box kinds of rewards. There's you know, perks and all that kind of stuff we're going to talk about in this class. So, we'll talk about how a pay rate gets assigned to a specific job, the process of that. So, we'll be talking about that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And sorry, my voice is a little scratchy. We have a group project. So, as you see this course here, or this menu here on the side, you will have a study group. Ugh, I hate when that thing pops up. Hold on a second. There we go. And there it goes again. Let me see if I can get rid of that so you can see the group study. It's playing peekaboo on me. Look at this. Okay. I'm trying to get to the group study. Here we go. Group study area. I will create groups for each of you, or for each group, sorry. There'll be probably 4 or 5 in each group. I don't know how many groups, just depends on how it falls out, and this will be your area for communicating. So you'll be able to have chats and everything within your group. That'll be done later. I think I'll do that in week 2, probably. So I'm going to go back to I just wanted to talk about how the groups function as far as where do you participate in your group. Because last term we had a group, it was a different class. I teach mostly HR, but I do teach business too. So, but not every class has a group project, but these two, this last class was management and human resources, and I wanted to show you specifically where you would meet, because there were some students that were having trouble with that, finding that, posting on the wrong board, etc. So this is you need to have the book. It's Milkovich, Newman, and Gerhardt, Compensation 12th edition. Make sure you have the 12th edition. And this says 5 to 6 members. So that's what it's going to break down to. Sorry if I said 4 to 6. In the other class I did 4 to 6. So you're graded as a team. And I'm talking about this first because it's the biggest project in the class. And again, I will have a video with much more detail about this project. I'm just doing a very brief coverage of it right now. Because when I do post, most likely I'll post a video long before it's due, because I like students to get started early. I monitor participation on the discussions. So I will see who's participating. And, you know, that'll account for your grade. It's 30% of your grade. It's a really big deal for this class. So I just want to make sure that I cover that just a little bit and let you know how that's going to go. So it requires everyone to you know, do their part. And, you know, so we will get started on that early. At least I will put the information out there early. Anyway, let's just go to week 1, and that's pay model and strategy. Pay model means, let me give you an example. there are different pay models. There are, let's just say retail. If you work at, you're a cashier, for example. If you work at Walmart or, I don't know, a convenience store or Aldi, which is, I don't know if you've heard of Aldi, but it's an outlet, grocery outlet, that pays at the top level for cashiers and other positions. So you have pay leaders and pay followers. Then you have some jobs that will pay the minimum in the market. And they know people are going to come in and out of there like crazy. So they have to, basically what they have to do is think of a scale. And you've got paying the lowest amount in your market, and you probably have higher training budget, because you're constantly, it's like people are coming in and out of there on a regular basis. The turnover is high. Or you might have a high pay model and a lower training budget, because when you get an employee, you keep that employee for quite a while. So you're not training as much. So, those are kind of issues when people are starting a business. They consider where do they want to place themselves in the market. So, and that's just a way, one consideration when establishing pay. Obviously, your resources, the size of your business, things like that are going to make a difference. But, you also might want to think about, what kind of, are you going to be focused on retention, or just, finding someone that will come in at a low pay rate that will accept what you have to offer, and knowing that person might be training and getting experience there and then getting out quickly. And that means you're going to have to, have a pretty high recruiting and training budget. Anyway, so define compensation, who it influences, whom it influences in organizations. I'm starting to sound like a frog, sorry. Explain the differences between various forms of compensation and their implementation. Visualize the pay model. Identify the importance of compensation research and decision making. So, and I won't even read all of these, but these are your outcomes. So every time we have an assignment, you'll have a list of outcomes, which is what you're supposed to take away from that week. And I know you're probably familiar with this already, but I just want to be thorough. So let's get in week 1 readings, chapters 1 and 2. So we're going to talk about, we have 2 assignments. Every week we have a discussion, by the way. Every week, no matter what. Your initial post is due by Thursday, and then your response is due by Sunday night. So that's technically all you have to do, is post the answer to the question by Thursday, and a response to someone else, I don't care if it's me or another student, by Sunday. Sometimes, I'll be posting on there. I don't respond to every student or anything. I respond to, I get on there and look at the responses, and I just post, I'll probably post 9 or 10 posts a week. So you can respond to me if you'd like, but if you don't, that's fine. You can respond to another classmate. Excuse me. Relational return. So please provide your response to the questions below in this week's discussion board. Okay, so what are relational returns, and what are some good examples of these? So all you're doing for this question is defining the term and offering examples. And then how important are they in the retention of valuable employees? So, obviously read, feel free to do outside research and answer that question. For your assignment, what you want to do is read chapter 1, page 27, and answer all the 5 questions in the Word document. And it's going to talk about, labor cost and some industries up here. And so just do that. But when you write a paper, I'm going to click on the APA stuff. Yay, it goes to this site, which I didn't realize that because they remodeled the site. But every term, no matter what class I'm teaching, I send students to this site. This site got me through a thesis, actually 2 of them, and then a dissertation. So it's my favorite resource. And I know there are others, and if you're comfortable with another one, I mean, please use it by all means. But, here's a sample paper you can download. See, there's templates on here with examples. So this is the sample paper. You can download it. You can go look through it. It basically is what a properly formatted APA paper should look like. But if you want a different kind of example, you can go here and, a lot of us use electronic sources. Just make sure they're credible. Please don't use eHow, Wikipedia, about.com. Anything that can be just modified by anybody is not. It has to be a peer-reviewed online periodical. But if you find something like Forbes, or you want to use Newsweek or Bloomberg or whatever, something that's reputable, Time Magazine or something like that, you can use this site. And it says here, so you have templates, like generic information that just basically shows you the proper arrangement of the information, or the actual example. So that's what I like about this site, is it gives you templates and examples. But if you have another source, I'm fine with that, as long as it's correct. Oh, and by the way, I would definitely look at this paper, and I should have just emphasized that more, because it is not just the reference page and in-text citations that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the paper structure when I grade. I'm looking for headings. I'm looking for title page. I'm looking for page numbers. I'm looking for, I don't know what happened there. I just lost. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm looking for these specific running header, the running head abstract. Looking for that. So I would download this and model my papers at proper indentions here. Model my papers correctly. It even tells you the level of headings, because there are a level of headings. See, for example, let's take a look at this. A level 1 heading is in the center. A level 2 heading is not indented and on the left side. A level 3 header is indented on the left side. So what you might be asking, well, how do I know what level? Well, the overall point of this area is the discussion overall, and then there are subheadings and subtopics. So that's how we get down to that. So please make sure you're paying attention to that too. In this class, you want to make sure to practice. This APA is something that takes a lot of practice over time. So continue that journey as you're going through this undergraduate program, to continue practicing proper format. Now, if you were in a humanities class, you would probably use MLA. But for business classes, you use APA. Psychology, sociology, business, we use APA. There's a self-test. I want to say this. Self-tests are not required, or they're not graded. They are solely for the purpose of practice for you. There is a quiz this week. There are 10 multiple choice and 10 true and false questions. You have 60 minutes, week 1, reading and lectures. I will tell you this. Quizzes come from test banks. These test banks are random. One student might have one test, another student will have different questions. It is randomized. If you have any questions about the test, let me know. If there's anything that doesn't look right about the test, please let me know. The reason I say that is there have been times when a student has completed a test and the book edition is changed and the test is not. So that could cause a discrepancy. So just make sure that there's nothing contradicting what's in the text on these quizzes. That's the main point. That just blatantly contradicts. I'm not going to say that the wording, sometimes the wording can be tricky, and it's still the right answer. So please pay careful attention to the wording of each question. And that's really all that there is for this week. So I'm pretty accessible. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you want to get a hold of me quickly, you should text me, because most of us a lot of us are adjuncts too, and we have other jobs. So if you text, I'm probably going to get back with you quicker. But if you can't and you need to talk on the phone, you can leave me a message and we'll set up a time to talk. But texting, I'm just saying, if you can and you have a question you need answered quickly, you'll probably get the fastest response that way. So that's it. So I hope you enjoy this class, and I am very attentive. I try to be present in my classes. As far as late, and also please make sure to post your work on time. I am not a heartless person. If you have something documentable, some kind of thing that happened, illness or something like that, I'm a reasonable person, but I don't accept late work on a regular basis. And it depends on the situation. And that's just simply because, obviously, if you're going to take online classes, you should be able to make the time for it. And some people, I know that there's some people that run courses where you can submit late work with a penalty all the time, but I don't want to get in the habit of just accepting late work all the time, because, there needs to be some accountability. But just, contact me if something really, bad happens, because life happens. I just don't let it get abused. That's all. That's all that there is for that. So anyway, every week you will see a video, and I will go over the assignments. I will go over the group assignment in its own video. It'll have its own special video. So, because it's such a big part of the grade, and I'm probably going to overload you with information, and you'll be like, oh, this is just too much. But I want to make sure that I get everything out there so there's nothing left, as a mystery. So I want you to be able to have everything you need to get a good grade on this project. And you will, as long as you participate. So, and, with team assignments, that's always the thing. So hopefully we can get 100% participation this term. So that's all I have. Have a great week, first week. I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you on the discussion board. Thanks, and have a great day.